Hello, my beautiful twin flames, and welcome back to another reading for both twins here on my channel. Now, the point of this video is to show you where you both are in your journeys and how best to move forward towards union. So before I start, I'd like to thank you, all of my new subscribers. It's so nice to read all of your comments, hear your stories, and for you to be able to connect with other twins here on this channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram as Massage by Carrie, and I have lots of readings listed in the description box below, so please do look at that if you feel called. We have 3 columns here. We have the Divine Masculine, the Divine Feminine, and the Connecting Energies. So the Divine Masculine this week is represented by the King of Arrows, which is Adonis in this deck. And I find it so interesting because we have the feminine here represented as the Ace of Arrows in reverse. So both of you are really on the same plane in different ways. So it almost kind of feels like between these 2 cards that there was some really good communication for a while in either the 5 or 3D. And then all of a sudden, the DM drops back into his ego and gives you the silent treatment. But as you can see, he is still holding on to these flowers, which is like a literal metaphor for your scent. So I get the feeling that he's almost the type of guy who seems cold to your face, but then like has a secret possession of yours in his sock drawer and like gets all nostalgic about it behind closed doors. So this is a man who wants to feel invulnerable in love. And we can see that from this heart-shaped point right here on the end of his arrow, which is kind of a nod to Cupid, Aphrodite's son. Now, ironically, Adonis, of whom this card represents, was actually Aphrodite's favorite lover. And anybody who knows the story knows that unlike her husband Hephaestus, who is the god of weaponry, or her other major lover, Ares, the god of war, Adonis was mortal, and being so, fragile. So really, it's the vulnerability that the feminines are attracted to. So frustrating. But on a high note, Adonis became widely regarded as a birth and death figure, a symbol of dying and rising. So he was gored by this wild boar and then changed into flowers. So eventually it indicates the Divine Masculines will put 2 and 2 together and realize why they're acting the way they're acting. He's just resisting it right now. And hint, hint, it's because he loves you. Now, when I say Divine Masculine, this doesn't have to be gender specific, so keep that here in mind. Same thing for feminines. And of course, the 8 of Arrows, or the Ace of Arrows, we're still dealing in the thought realms here, as the arrows are swords in this deck. She's feeling a bit dejected by all of this. She's ready to give up communication for the moment, maybe going within. And this is supported at this time with the new moon coming up in Pisces, which is asking us to ground our daydreams in reality. So if you know that your masculine has been, through a rough time with this 10 of staves in reverse, don't assume that he is going to come forward and commit to you without getting his house in order. The masculine polarity seeks order and stability. And he knows that it will be fairly injurious to the relationship down the road if he doesn't become more stable, mentally, physically, spiritually, money-wise, job-wise, whatever. And since we have the 10 of staves in reverse, he's likely going to rise up out of this burdensome energy very, very soon. It's almost like a funeral pyre here. So, the feminine needs to be very careful at this time not to point fingers. Let's just imagine this arrow is a finger at anyone or anything, especially herself or the masculine, lest she damage the relationship between you guys or herself and her own self-worth in the process. So this is an indication that we need to find meaning in suffering and stay optimistic, because Piscean energy has a tendency to be heavy and can really drag us down into negativity easily. So if we become too imbalanced with negativity, we can fall into this nihilistic state where jealousy, resentment, cruelty, and vengeance can breed. And here we have the ability to destroy what we love and our good relationship with spirit as well. So both twins should really be freeing themselves of burdens and burning things away they don't want to carry into the next chapter of their lives, as this is the true meaning of the tens, that something has to die in order for something else to live. So it's a very fitting reading. Now I'm going to move on here and show you what's hidden in your relationship. What is hiding from you in this connection? Again, this is a general reading for the collective, so if you want to know what's going on in your specific connection, be sure to visit my website that's listed in the description box down below and take a look at the love and relationships reading. And if anybody interested in extended readings, I know sometimes readers do that here, let me know in the comments below, as well if there's any questions that you'd like me to read for. Okay. So what are you able to not see about your twin and yourself at this time? What should you know? We've got the Empress here for the Divine Masculine. So despite his best attempts at ignoring this connection, you and the feminine, even within himself, he's thinking about all of it. He desperately wants to create something in his life, but he's intimidated by you. I mean, look at you in your divine feminine power. He is all style and no substance, and you are this solidified, chakra-aligned queen of queens. And he sees you sitting back and waiting for him to, catch up. He's just unsure of how to get started. So we also have these two birds here, which is a symbol of union. And I never noticed actually this snake behind her, ready to strike. Especially to strike and inject him with venom if he doesn't watch his step. So this is emblematic that you are surrounded now by great Shakti energy and the Lords of Karma. And it's actually giving me a little bit of Lilith vibes, actually. So deep down, the Divine Masculine doesn't want a submissive partner. He wants you in all of his challenging glory. But it's really just a question of worth. Now, with the Six of Pentacles representing the feminine is maybe stress eating, overindulging in daydreams, trying to mend her broken heart. Winter's taken a toll on the feminine, and somewhere she just believes that thinking and hoping and praying and existing in these higher realms of spiritual space is enough to bring her mate back to her. So this is also a message to the feminines that you have to ground yourself in reality as well. You cannot leave your body. Let me repeat that. Do not leave your body. If you feel you resonate with this, it's safe to be in your body. It's holy to be in your body. Stay in your body. Don't dissociate. If it hurts to exist in the lower chakras, that is a sign that you need some kind of healing down there. So the lower three chakras are the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus. The solar plexus governing digestion, the sacral over the reproductive, and the root with the pelvic floor and our foundational starting point to the earth. So there are issues there that could be surrounded by abandonment, sexual trauma, lethargy, and the like. So the earth is our anchor into manifesting, our ideas into action. We have to feel connected to both places, both above and below, to find balance. So this reminds me of a little poem by W.H. Auden where he says, "If true equal affection cannot be, let the more loving one be me." So what you need to know is, while all of this is going on in the ether, you guys are actually in union. Spirit wants to remind you with this apple here, these two halves that are bounded together by this cord. You're manifesting the inward struggle of the masculine outwardly. You guys are reflections of each other. So instead of focusing on the suffering part, focus on the beautiful fact that we are connected no matter what we do. And subtle things like this can remind us of that. So take comfort and play. Now, I love the Justice card for connecting energies because this lets us know that all will be coming into balance one way or another. Dum, dum, dum. Not always the best card you want to see sometimes when you're on the shit end of the stick, shall we say, or you know that karma is coming your way. But it is inevitable as, chaos becomes order and chaos holds space for order to manifest. So, look, we've even got the snake on the opposite end and the fruit here. So this is a direct message to the feminines not to worry. You will be vilified. You will be getting compensated for your time. And I think that this will be in the form of spiritual gifts. The divine masculine will as well, once they start validating that there is magic in the universe and stop trying to logically disprove or prove that spiritual matters exist or exist in the way that the metaphysical people talk about them. Stop trying to discredit intuition, inner knowing, or people that say things in a manner that is not the way that you need to hear them in order to get it. You need to know that divine timing and karma is at play here, and you're going to be taken care of. To obtain love, you must give something in exchange and pay the price for the errors of the past. So you know where you sit by the energy of this. And with that, I'm going to relay to you how best to bring about union. So right away, we have this concept of sacrifice. And disclaimer, I've met a lot of individuals who are super judgmental of others and take this idea the wrong way. It's not that successful people are lucky, nor is this a reason to be jealous or spiteful. We all have the potential to be. It's about asking yourself, what could I have done in a situation to make it better? Or is there anything I could have done to make it better? Did my actions contribute negatively to the outcome of a situation? And then taking responsibility for actively doing better in the future. So when we pay the price for something, honor that we were given an appropriate consequence in general for that action. And then don't get down on yourself. Don't be feeling like you have to be perfect. Find meaning in it instead. Honor it with the fruits of your labor. Find a deeper respect for the universe and its call and response patterns. Honor it with the best of your crop, with something meaningful to you. And give it up, give it away, whether that's a painting or a song or your money, your time, your attention, because the divine has done this for you by giving you this connection. This connection is one of the greatest gifts. It doesn't always feel like it, but if you look back, those of you that have been on this journey for a while, from where you started to where you are now, are you grateful? Show it. Twin Flames are here to create heaven on earth, not just for us, but for everybody. We are here to alleviate suffering. We are here to show others how to heal. And we don't have to always have all of the answers to do this, but we do have to stay open, reflective, receptive, and generous. So the divine masculine has to focus on becoming adaptable and less rigid in his thinking and feeling. And the feminine must stay the course and be devoted to being a guardian of the path and a keeper of the way. And if we do this, we will not only gather ourselves together in union, but we will unite the world's polarities. We will unite in single individuals, or show them the way to unite, I should say, the masculine and feminine polarities within. This is how we're bringing about wholeness, not necessarily peace, but wholeness in the world, so that we can all become more awakened, accountable, and holistic people. Greater than the sum of our parts. I love the dragon imagery here for the divine feminine, because the dragon is such a fierce protector, but has been demonized by those who don't understand it. or worse, pissed it off. But if the divine feminine stays in her power and she doesn't let the masculine manipulate her or drag her under, then or even the energies of the world throw her off, then she can restore order by actually allowing all of this chaos to exist around her and not become a part of it. Like I said, hold space for it. So then she can better learn when and how to apply force with sensitivity and yield this justice card. This is the classic situation, guys, where like somebody tries to get you to fight them and you know that they're trying to get you to engage and you instead hold your power and stay silent. You are unfuckwittable. Such an amazing outcome to this reading because it really seems like everything's been turned upside down right now. And it's a relief to know that sometimes we just have to go through the storm to get to that calm eye. So that is what I have for you today. If you want to see what your DM has to say to you, please watch my last video. It's linked below. Spoiler alert, it's kind of crazy, but very interesting. So like this video if you liked it, subscribe to my channel if you want more, hit that bell to be notified when a video comes in, and do book a reading if you feel called. That's in the description box below. There's even a $20 one quick question special. So next week we'll be doing I think that's our love, wealth, and self-care reading. So hit that little notification bell and don't miss it. All right, guys, have a good one.